Feast your senses on this. It's not every day you get to play Ring Around the Rosie with a 1961 Hawk by Studebaker, is it? Rare is the day we have the pleasure. Okay, I'm so excited because I've never driven a Studebaker before. First time for everything. The spirit is kicking in, and it didn't take long to, because, oh, the brakes. First time ever braking a Studebaker. Very solid, very nice. Okay, you know, you always have to look both ways twice, double check, and then look again, because you want to be extra careful always driving a classic car. I really love the way this car drives. It's much more nimble than I expected. It feels great, and I love the sound of the throaty exhaust. Feels very sporty. Very sporty. Oh, the brakes are rock solid. I really love driving it. I could get used to driving the Studebaker, and you can really see out of it too. You guys, this is one of the great car culture landmarks of Southern California. Look at that classic car wash sign from 1960. Yes, this is the Lakeside Car Wash. Look at that gorgeous, glorious font, spelled out in the font of optimism, Lakeside Car Wash. And what perfect timing. Look what has just arrived. Look how gorgeous that is, you guys. Are you ready? I think you are. Look at that front end. First of all, that hood scoop right there. That'll scoop everything. Look at that grill right there. And there is the Hawk there, reaching up to the heavens. I love the little grills here, the little turn signal light there, and look at those glorious front fenders. Not to mention that perfect shape of the wheel well there. And I love the stainless trim. And yes, it is a Studebaker. I love how the roof like points up a little bit, don't you? I know. And look at that big piece of trim sweeping back. And look at the delicate door handle right there. Hawk is what this car is. We talked about it before, and we're gonna talk about it again. Right there it is. Yes, and that engages your senses in this. The fin. And don't you love that sweeping side stripe too? And of course, how much do you love those wheel covers with that S right there for you? Batmobile styling, as they call it, as some call it, and I'll call it that too right there. Those fins do not get enough appreciation. We've got exhaust tips, and right there to remind you of this iconic American mark. It says it right there, Studebaker. And look at those taillights and backup lights. I love the shape of that wraparound rear glass, don't you? I thought you did. Oh yes, you do. And look at this beautiful interior. Very sensible. Bucket seat alert. You want to talk about door panels? Fine, be that way. Don't you love that little freeform shape right there? A little ashtray there in case you want to enjoy a cigarette. And once you sit in the car, there is no mistaking what model it is. Not to mention the fact how hypnotizing, mesmerizing, and spellbinding that engine turned aluminum is. And how about the steering wheel, you guys? Guess what? It's not round, it's oval. The Hawk. Isn't he gorgeous? So important. I know. And a very sensible instrument cluster right there. Very sports car-ish. Indeed it is. I love the white knobs. I love how it says Studebaker on the radio. How about the grill cloth, you guys? Yeah, and never smoked in. Behold the glory of a car that's never been smoked in. It's always time for a Studebaker.
So I'm driving down the street where I saw the car 30 years ago, and I would play a little game and drive down this street and hope that it was parked there so I could look at it some more.
30 years ago, you've had this car. How long have you
I've
had
had
this
it
car?
29 years because it took me a year to convince the guy to sell it to me.
How'd you convince him to sell it to you?
Well, I just kept asking him questions, and I even called him from Europe because I got sent to Europe for work. And, you know, after a point, he just knew that, you know, I was seriously into it. Yeah, I even actually came over and took a whole roll of film of it at one point, of it parked on the street. And I liked the fins, I liked the style of it. I'd never seen one before. And then I had to like research what it was. And then I kind of fell in love with the whole Studebaker brand and the fact that they were an independent company. And that's how it all started.
Look at it glow in the glisten of that light. And speaking of light, how much do we all love vintage neon? There it is right there, you guys. For your pleasure and mine right now. One of the great neon signs in all the known universe. This is the legendary landmark Safari Inn Motel in Burbank, California, since 1959. This 1961 Hawk by Studebaker is more than a classic car, more than a mid-century modern motoring masterpiece. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this 1961 Hawk by Studebaker is a world-class national treasure. Behold the glory. We don't want to forget. Look who's here. Big boy. He is ready for his close-up, and that is the original double-decker hamburger. The whole glory. This is Americana. I know. Joyride has been brought to you by Holiday Jubilee and Addicted to Americana. Order your signed copies now at charlesphoenix.com. We ship worldwide. I know.